What's going on? Here I am making the third and final video like this, my little series of, I don't know what it would be called. Brands you need or can use for lawn care business, commercial. Now, this is not all my Stihls, just like all the videos I've made. I don't have room for everything here, so they're in other places, okay? These are my favorite Stihls I own. Now, I do not own a Stihl backpack blower. Used them, they're great, they really are. I don't like 4 mixes, I don't like 4 strokes with valves, it's a 4-stroke. Would I ever buy another one? Maybe, all right? I see a big use in the 4 mix sometimes, and sometimes I don't. I don't like the noise they make, but the BR600 is universally one of the best blowers there is. They do have bigger ones, yes. Yeah, I'm talking the general consensus. The other blowers ain't been around for years. The 600 is a, if you're a Stihl guy, is a proven, tried and true blower. Sadly, I do not own one. And I mean that because I might just buy one for the channel. I don't know. But anyway, I digress. So I brought out the BG55, which they don't make this no more. It's a travesty. This thing still runs and starts. I don't know how old it is. 2014, I think. So it's 6, 7, 8 years old. Might be 2013. I don't know. It's old as you know what. They switched to the 50. I don't know why. I think because, see, this one, the tube is adjustable for the length. It's wore out on the end, if you see, because of gutter work. This is our gutter blower. I've showed videos of Roy on a gutter. This is the blower. I always take this one because the little tube fits in the gutters. So I'm sure the BG50 does as well, and I don't know the big difference in them. I did know these things. I don't keep up with Stihl, and you know, as older you get, you forget things by adding new information. Highly recommend the Stihl handheld 2-strokes. It's been great. Now, since I'll talk about the trimmer the longest, I'll switch to my favorite top handle saw because it's the only one. No, I got 2 of them. I was going to say it's the only top handle saw I got, but I got 2 top handle saws. I need to pick that up. And this is the MS-193T. I have used this on a plethora of jobs, but it's a limbing saw. It's not made to, that's a 12-inch bar. You have 2 choices when you buy this, of a 12 and I think a 14 or 16, I can't remember. It don't like to start. I'm just gonna be all the way honest with you. It's a Stihl. A lot of Stihls don't like to start. This thing will pull your arm off trying to start this. Stihl and 2-strokes don't mix very well. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Never have, never will. You're gonna say, well, my Stihl starts perfect. That's because it's probably the 4-stroke. If you got AFS 90, 91, 100 RX, 110, 111, 130, 131 weed eaters, those are all 4-strokes. You mix oil in them, yes, because it transitions. The same oil that burns, it goes in the crankcase for the lubrication of the piston and the crank and everything. And it's the combustible all in one, so you're cycling gas and oil mixed through the whole machine. And they crank easy because it's got valves in it, and any 4-cycle starts way easier than a 2-cycle. It just does. Unless it's a Husqvarna. But anyway, I've never owned a Stihl that starts up great. It's always 3. That chainsaw, some days it'll start up a little better. It's never started up. It's like 4 or 5 maybe. Now I love that saw and I would not sell that saw. That's my saw. The weight of it, everything about that, the 12-inch bar most importantly. I use that a lot of times in a bucket and stuff. Phenomenal. The reason I like that smaller bar, because it's, anything further away than that bigger and stuff, I have a pole saw that does what this one won't do. This is I wanted a small footprint limbing saw, and that's what I got. That's what I wanted. I'm not a tree guy. I don't have the 200T. I got the 193T. They cost a lot of money, these things, but they're great. It's comfortable to use. There ain't nothing wrong with it. It just takes a long time to start it. It really does, and sometimes it don't want to idle. just like this one, and just like the one I'm getting ready to talk about. The one that I made a household name. The legendary first Stihl FS94R y'all ever seen on YouTube or anywhere. Pre-ordered this baby. Bought 2 of them at a time. I have made many videos about this thing. It runs to this day. I could crank it right now. Sometimes it'll start in 4 pulls and 5 and 6. Sometimes I've had it hit on 3 when you're out, but you always have to, it's a Stihl 2-stroke. You have to choke it. Almost always. Primer bulb, you should only have to do that in the morning. Remember that, because all that's doing is getting the air out of the system. Now, you could argue going down the road bouncing that somehow, well, Stihl is pretty airtight. They don't have a vent. That's why that gas cap, when you take these gas caps off, except for that chainsaw, it still does a little bit. It spits fuel all over you. That drives me Vichy freaking gas cap tanks. Anyway, it needs a bigger fuel tank. It has lasted. This trimmer's 2014. I'm almost certain that's the first year they come out. It's plastic cover over the plastic gas tank. I always thought that would break, and I've dropped it, as you can see. This has also went through everybody that's ever worked for me. Well, since I bought it in 2014, I had other people working for me and they never used it because it didn't exist until 2014. But I have had it longer. Trigger hasn't broke. It sticks a little bit, needs lubed up. Stop start works. This stupid wheel never gets you. That's nonsense. Take that off still. Take that off too. If you have to wear a strap using a weed eater, get an electric weed eater. You need something lighter. This is a commercial piece of equipment. You don't need to be wearing a strap on a weed eater. You just don't. If you have medical problems, I understand. If you're a homeowner, I understand. If you are a full-time commercial operator, none of us use that. Because it's easier to hold it. It really is, and faster. Alright, this thing slaps. Every 2-stroke Stihl, you'll hear that clutch slap. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, drives me crazy. Is it a good trimmer? Absolutely. Now this one I have replaced about every part in the dang. Y'all have seen me. I've made videos of taking the engine apart and everything. Coils went out. Carb. Well, that was fuel. Pull string. The pawls, starter pawls. I just replaced that. If you remember my last video about it, it wouldn't pull because the pawls was out. But now it pulls good and strong. So I've got it fixed, everything on it, and I even and the handles work. I mean, it's worth its money. It does not feel as good as my favorite trimmer, and it is light. It's a good trimmer. It really is. Not joking. I put the old school, baby, 25-2 auto cut. Y'all remember this head? You had to spin it with your fingers right there in the middle, and you had to cut a piece of thing and put it. You put one in here, one in there, and you leave all the string hanging out. Then you turn it, then you cut. It'd be like this, and then you cut that. I put that on there just to use it because I had it in my box, and I was like, I made a video about that thing forever ago, 2013, 2014. This might, I don't know what year this is. I think it's 2014. So about 2014, 15, I made a video. The name of it has to be Stihl Auto Cut. So if you get bored, look for the video. I bragged about it. I did like it. It still ain't nothing wrong with it. It works. But this one has broke down. The clutch spring broke. Coils. I had to take the exhaust off and clean it because it was completely stopped up. I made a video of that. It's on my YouTube. It has fouled 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere through there, spark plugs. This thing fouls spark plugs. like Roy would bring it to me, or the other guy, or what's his name? And the other guy, I won't even mention his name. And they'd be like, it would run for a minute and it would die and wouldn't work no more. Or, you know, a lot of times I thought it was the coil, but then the coil did go. But all of a sudden, since to replace that, it just kills the spark plugs. And they don't and all that bull crap. It's just, it eats spark plugs up. I don't know why. The coil might be too hot. I don't think so. It could be. It could be getting too hot. That could be a bad coil, you know. That very well may be it. But it eats up plugs. I don't think it's original equipment. It's not after, you know, cheap crap. There's nothing cheap about it. So it's still what Stihl puts in them. I don't know. But anyway, they'd bring it over and I'd put a new plug in it and it'd fire right up. And that's when it would get hot. It would just quit. Spark plug would get hot and it'd just quit running. Put a new plug in, it's fine until it quits. And always NGK spark plugs. It is comfortable. The angle that you put your elbow, it don't roll like the other brand that I get mad at. So it's very stable, it's light. It used to be my favorite trimmer in the world. I sold many of these for Stihl. Ask a lot of my followers. They used to tell me and show me pictures and videos about it. Until I went to a different kind. You know, when something better comes around, you switch. That's life. No offense to this trimmer. This trimmer still runs. It really does. So, there's many of them out there. It's pretty strong for not being a torque. Everybody I notice leaves the line out. These things do not like a real long line. If you don't hear these two strokes sounding like, not that they're going to blow up, but it's a close proximity to that, like, not, just like that, not, you know, like, well, picture this, cut the trimmer line off, open the weed eater while open. You don't want it to sound like that. Bump it out till you can hear it start to die down a little bit so you don't throw a freaking rod in it. And you've got a sweet spot. When the trimmer line goes out too far, you will hear it. It'll still cut, but it'll be like, you know. And that probably killed the plugs all the time, to be honest with you, because everybody's worked for me, usually except for that one guy that I liked that lived in Lee County. He would keep his too short. Because he was young. But anyway, I think putting all that load on it is just fouls them out and overheats the plugs. So it is what it is. It's a great trimmer. I'll tell you what, if only I had a Stihl dealer left around me, which one would I get? I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't want the weight of the other ones. I guess 94 would have to be it, and then I'd get a 90, or I'd get that, what is it now, 111 RX that replaced the 100 and the 110. So it's a lightweight. Probably that one, the 4-stroke. This just the power. It does pretty good. I ain't gonna knock it. I'm not knocking this at all. It's had many problems and many things I've replaced, but it's still going. Now it does have a steel cable, flex steel. So it feels like it weighs the same as the 525 LST, but it feels heavier. I don't know why that is either. I've got a video of Roy holding them up, and we weighted them. I've got videos of weighting them all. So it is what it is. This is a great brand. It's the only brand that is still family owned in the world that owns this big power equipment company. Is still held by the Stihl family. So nobody knows how much profit they make or nothing. They have no shareholders. So if you like a good, solid, family-run company, I mean,